Hi, so good afternoon and welcome to another day. Issues in Focus with Shibiki. It's a beautiful Wednesday, our relational day, and we are going to do a part 2 of our program that we did last Wednesday. Some things men can never understand about women. After the show last week, I had some of the men, they messaged me and they're like, hey, you guys are complicated, but thanks to the program, I think we you ladies help us to. We're trying to get there to help to understand you a little better. And so I am happy that some of them were tuning in, and I am hoping that each and every one of you can share the link, and so that at the end of the day we all can learn about more about each other. So let us pray. I'm going to pray for those individuals, those of you who are currently viewing and those who will be viewing, so that it will be able to touch your hearts in some way or another. So let us pray. Eternal God and Father which art in heaven, I am thankful for another Wednesday. Thankful for the viewers, persons who have been viewing from time to time. Some individuals would usually go and view the program after. I pray, Lord, that your Holy Spirit will touch them in a mighty way, especially our males, Lord, who are seeking to find ways and to find a know-how of understanding us. So may you continue to touch each member of the audience in a special way and continue to guide us, Lord. Through Jesus Christ we pray. Amen and amen. All right, good. So, welcome to all those individuals who are viewing, whether you're viewing on YouTube or on Facebook. It's my great pleasure to have you here. So, with me today, we have Okola Bino from Guyana, a teacher by profession. I'm going to be very brief with the introduction because you would have met these ladies last week. We have Miss Christine Grant, who is she categorized herself as a stay-home nanny, but she's been doing an excellent job where children is concerned, and Christine is married. Next, we have Miss Alicia Bentic from Barbados, and Miss Alicia, she's gifted in so many different things. One of the things I must say about her, she is an active participant in terms of her church work. You name it, she has functioned in various capacities. So, Miss Alicia, it's good to have you here with us. I have my dear friend Darian Campbell. You would have seen her. I think this is the third consecutive program she is on. Last Friday, she managed to, she was by me and like, hey, you need to come on the program. And even though she didn't really know what we were talking about, I just told her the caption. She was like, hey, I'm willing. And she was here. And then, of course, when we did our grad feature on Monday, she was there. And Darian, welcome. You're no stranger. Is in focus now. It's a pleasure to.
Yeah.
And then we have Miss Delika Pigot. She is from Linden, Guyana, and not a stranger to the program either. And I am so happy to have her. She works at a law firm. And yeah, so ladies, it's a pleasure to be here. I know maybe two other persons should be joining us, but they're late. But nevertheless, we want to see how quickly we can finish this program today because all of us seem to have our own little appointments this afternoon. So we're going to get straight into it. Last week we dealt with several questions, and as I told you guys last week that when I asked the men for questions, there were so many questions. And we are just going to continue where we left off last week and let us see how best we can get around this. Remember, members of the audience, you can place your comments in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Issues in Focus. You can like the page, Issues in Focus. Share the broadcast to anyone. Share the link if you're on YouTube to anyone so that they can be edified at this point in time. All right, ladies. So, ladies, are you ready? All right, great. And so the first question,
Yes,
I
we
would like,
are.
all right, lovely, lovely. So there is this question here that I love very much coming from our men. Um, I I think sometimes we really put them on the we expect them to do it and to know it in deep. So ladies, this is a question here. Um, let me put it up. I want to put it up on the screen so that everyone can see it. And all right, so Darian is back. Great. Why is it? Why is it that some women like to say the opposite of what they want and expect men to give them what they didn't ask for. I know. I have male friends, so sometimes they have to. I get that correction. I get that. Somebody, why didn't you state what exactly you wanted? You know. So please help the men to understand why is it that we do that sometimes. Why that we like to say the opposite of what we want and expect men to give us what we didn't ask. Anybody can begin, and let's keep our responses as brief as possible. Good afternoon, Sarah. Good to have you here this afternoon. All right. So when I see a
Well,
long
seems
pause,
like nobody wants to go first, so I will
go
go.
ahead, Christine.
Um, really and truly, when I read this question, I was like, I have no answer for this question because I have no reason why I do such thing. It's just a natural habit, I guess. I don't know. I really don't. I'm just like the man. I don't know. I have no idea. And that is the honest truth. I have no idea. It's just naturally happen. I don't know if it's a nature or we born with such nature or we grow up seeing these things and we just adopt the style. I have no idea. No clue.
All
Just
right.
I
Thank you,
would say it's just a
Christine.
habit.
All right. So if you well,
Well,
who's
if
going
I
next?
may interject here, I think that yeah, I think that women like to know that, especially husbands and wives. A wife likes to know that if she drops a hint, that her husband gets it without having to spell out all
Yes.
the words. If let's say we're driving going along and we pass by a ice cream shop, and I said, I know I have not had ice cream in such a long time. Hello, hint hint, can we go and get some ice cream? You know, I think that women naturally like to give cues to their men, and they like to know that men get them. And when they don't get them, we get, it's like, you ain't get it, you ain't get it. But women like to give those kind of cues, and they like to know that men get them.
I have to agree with her there. I feel like in some instances too, when a woman responds, it's not exactly very straight. It's being sarcastic, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, do you want rice and peas? After we just passed by my favorite restaurant. Yes, I want rice and peas. In my mind, I'm thinking that you are getting the sarcasm that I'm giving to you here because to me, I'm expecting you to know this is because of our relation with one another for such a long time. I believe that you should know me by now.
Hmm. All right. Um. Yeah. Okola. Mm-hmm.
If I may go, I basically agree. Permit me to take the camera off
Okay.
because the signal is kind of weak. So it's better when I have it off. So I agree with both Sister Alicia and the last speaker because most times what women tend to do when they do that is form of test the other individual to see if the individual knows them perfectly by that particular time, because if you're going wrong for a very long time, then you're supposed to know what your the other significant partner is trying to say to you. You're supposed to know, well, if I say A, well, I didn't really mean A, I was trying to say B. But it's just so you can get it, or just so the person can know if you understand them by
Interesting.
now.
All right. Thank you, Delico.
Um, well, this question is really funny to me because I am 100% guilty of this. But for me, I do it to test the person that I'm speaking with, to see one, if they actually pay attention to me and pay attention to the little things, because I pay attention, so why should you pay attention? I test them to see if they pay attention. And I just do it sometimes to be petty, but that's me. But yeah,
All
that's
right, thank you, ladies. I'm seeing the concept of sarcasm and testing has been filtering through the all almost all the responses. And when I go to Facebook now, I saw hi Alicia. I mean her Facebook name is Ziva Boo Wilson. I don't know. We have some fancy Facebook names. But Alicia is good to have you here this afternoon. And she said the opposite because he is supposed to know her by now. So saying the opposite is her being sarcastic. Hmm. Um, and then we have Sarah. Sarah saying, a man who truly understand um, it should be his partner shouldn't have a hard time knowing where she's coming from. And I think men, I mean, in dialogue with men, I constantly hear them saying, "Why don't you be direct?" I remember when we were having we did the communication, and I think some of the males who were on the platform, they said those things like, "Why is it that women? I mean, we want you to say what you want. If you don't communicate what you want, don't expect us to read your minds, right?" And I know a lot of men cannot, even though it's a sarcastic approach and all of those things. Men hate it so much because how we have been gifted to do this, have this discerning spirit and this intuition. Men don't really have that. Say most of them don't take the time to like read us and to understand that we said pink, but we mean red. But when you really and truly understand who is the person you're dealing with, like me, I am very spontaneous. So I would be like the person who would beat around the bush and it's like, come on, bro, you telling me about this, you know I don't like this. And if I say, okay, bring it, you know that I'm not serious. I'm either annoyed at the fact that you're asking me something you know I don't want, or something of this sort. So we women, so men just, you learn in this afternoon. And I like what Junior says here. Junior, welcome. Junior says, to be honest, I truly believe it's for it's for attention. Uh 50% attention. All right, Junior. We're taking that. Maybe if we want to get certain things
If
organized.
if I may interject,
Go ahead.
Sister Shabiki, yes, women like attention, right? And we don't just like attention. We want our spouses or significant others to pay attention,
That's right.
right? I mean, a woman pays attention to fine details, right? And if we are supposed to be knit together and bond so on, then hello, you need to know what I like. When I drop a hint, you need to be on the ball with it.
Yeah.
Yes, it will take some time, granted that. And speaking from the perspective of someone who has been married for quite some time, 16 years, right? My husband knows that when I say certain things, if I say you making tea, he don't know I want a cup of tea, you know, before me having to say about tea, you know. I mean, you pay attention and just get it. We love the attention and we want y'all to pay attention simply because we pay attention to your details.
True.
Y'all got to pay attention to ours.
I love it. I love it. And Ashiba's here. Welcome. She just got disconnected. She just joined us. All right. Nevertheless, and then Junior made this other point. He said some men are still learners. Yeah, but I concur. We concur. Because when it comes to reading us and understand, some of the most intelligent men I know, they're slow learners in the art of dealing with women, right? So I love to see that a man would have mentioned that. Junior, high five. I don't think I know you. I'm not sure, but high five. I love. And Lisa said here, being art to be direct. No, well, let me go back to our first comment. She said being direct is kind of boring. Yeah, we like the spontaneity, like the little what should I say? I don't want to use the word
Beat around
argue.
the bush.
We love the little, I don't know, addition spice in between before we
The
can we
little
don't.
mystery,
Yeah,
mystery.
yeah,
More
that's a good
talk.
word to use
I
there.
guess.
And then she made this other point. She says something are to be direct with though. So some things you have to get to the point. Welcome to Abiola Semple and of course Andrea Charles. Good afternoon, Andrea Charles. I'm calling your name twice for emphasis. Good afternoon. You know why? And Daniel Nathan made a very important and significant point here, women. For us men, we love when women are straight and concise to the point with what a woman wants. But I suppose they want us to go the extra mile in figuring them out. Boy, you get it right, right? And maybe they find it attractive. Oh, yes! They find it attractive when we take initiative. Boy, you have just hit the hammer on the nail. Ladies, if you agree with that Daniel made, I just want you to raise your hands that the audience see you. If you don't agree, eh? Some of you, your cameras are off, but at least
I would
just
say
say yes
agree.
or say no.
I agree. And
I
Yes,
you know,
agree.
I agree. I
Yes,
agree.
100% agree. 100% agree.
Daniel, you're being voted. Ashiba, what about you? On a percentage scale, let's go with what Christine started. On a percentage scale, do you what's the percentage scale of agreement? Your microphone is muted, Ashiba. Okay.
I just joined in. I'm not too sure what did I miss.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
Because
I can call you on this one here. Darian, what about you?
oh, I agree with this as well. And I do think that men are more straightforward than women in general. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that in some ways, it's not that a man should not expect a woman to be exactly as how a man is, but they have to meet each other at some kind of compromise.
Great, great, great. So, Danielle, thank you so much for your comment. And yes, we find it very attractive when a guy can, even with my male friends that I have, the few of them that are very, very close to me. When you see I come around, some of them is like when I come around them and I will just be doing my work, they will just look at me and say, Shibiki, what's wrong? Nothing. And I would say nothing. No, 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 that's not you. Something is wrong. When you see, come on, I love that. It means that you know me so much as your friend that you can read into my emotion. Guys, we find that very, very attractive. Let me move on to the next question. I can't agree with that. Oh my God. Danielle, yes, yes, yes. All right, good. So we're gonna go. One of the ladies audience, one of my panel members, she agreed with it 10,000%. So imagine that. All right, good. Which moves me to the next question. I think this is somewhat a bit of maybe we'll take two responses on this question just to appease the young man that asked this question. Why is it that some women expect men to read their moods? Well, as I just mentioned, I was talking about that, but we take two responses on that, kind of similar to what we would have asked before. But let me just hear what you have to say. Yeah. Why is it that some women expect men to read them?
I mean, I think it goes back to how much attention you pay to that individual. A young lady, for a young lady, it's easy for her to pick up the slightest change in mood for the person she's dating or talking to, right? In terms of friends. No, she would pick up the slightest change. Why is it so hard for you to do the same? I mean, if you're really interested in a young lady, you should be able to detect a change in her mood. You should be able, but then, I mean, to be fair, sometimes a lot of us do behave certain ways for attention. And I mean, listen, women love attention from the person that they're with, right? So if it
Yeah.
is that you not doing what you're supposed to do, a lot of times instead of us coming and talk to you about it directly, we're gonna change our behavior to see if you notice, so that it's like a push for you to figure out something is wrong, and so that you can work on it, right? So for example, if you know that I'm a talkative person and I'm not talking to you right now, then, or if you know I'm a talkative person, I'm gonna decide, you know what, something is wrong, I'm not gonna talk to you. In that sense, you're gonna be like, what happened? And then from there we can start the
Yeah.
conversation. But if it's like you didn't even notice it happening, then you can continue like the boo. So you better learn to read the moods.
I really want to hear Alicia's response. Alicia's been married the longest. And so I want to hear your response on this, Alicia.
Well, it is a very interesting question, and actually, I did a little research on women and and their moods and so on. And what I have researched, it showed me that it is a natural thing for women to be moody, right? As women go through their menstrual cycle and the different changes in life and so on, is a natural thing. And if I think that all men, husbands, friends, I think they should really seek to understand from the medical side of things, right? Because there are a lot of things that women go through alters their mood. Some women experience very bad PMS, and that kind of thing. And then there's the whole issue of menopause and that kind of thing, which alters their mood altogether in,
Mm-hmm.
in so many different ways. Sometimes you will find a person who's fun loving and outgoing and then all of a sudden they have become just very reserved and quiet and that kind of thing. And as I said, a lot of it has to do with how our bodies are made up. I think that is how God has made us, right? And we as women have to understand it too and do our research, and men also have to understand, especially our spouses, and sometimes it can cause a lot of breakdowns in relationships,
True.
because some men just can't deal with that, and they will say, you're not the woman that I married, and this and that, and all kind of thing. But it is just that women's bodies go through so many changes. Been a younger From the time a younger gets her period, she has a child, then she goes into adolescence, she has a child, and in her adult years and so on, and then menopause. There's so many things that goes on that alters a mood. And then they say life begins at 40, right? For some women, they get more aches and pains and all kind of things. So that there's so many dynamics that goes on. So I think it warrants both parties to do a little research, because you have to take into consideration the medical side of things.
Well said. Well said. I love it. I love it. I don't think there is anything more to add to that. And I wanna just echo this to say to us ladies, it's time we need to understand ourselves and we need to understand why certain things are happening. As one, I smiled when a young man said to me, you guys don't even understand yourself, right? And when he said that, he made sense somewhat, because many of us don't really take time to understand ourselves. So we don't even know why are we in a certain mood. And I know for sure that some ladies too. I mean, I have a lot of female friends too, who would say that, oh, women are just moody. So it's like you just go into something because of what? It's like women are supposed to be moody. So you don't want to be the one to step out of that. And it's like some women I know for sure deliberately put on a show for different reasons on that aspect of it, right? So, well, ladies, let us take time to know ourselves a little more. And as much as possible, guys, let us not give the men a hard time because, I mean, they're men. Let us try to see how best we can be empathetic when it comes to certain situations and everything. Because as I said before, I know some of my friends will be put on the pretensive role just to get certain things through, or just to get certain things done. Danielle says this. A woman likes to know that the guy she has interest in is paying attention to even the littlest of details, whether it is through verbal conversation and text message, the slightest change in pattern being recognized and its address goes a long way for them. Women are mysterious. Oh, yes, Danielle, we are. Thank God. Oh, for women. Thank God. We add a little mystery to you guys. And when you solve it, trust me, a lot of things that you guys desire, or let me talk in the husband and wife context, you will get. And Alicia said this, in general, women love attention. Use different strategies to go find out what's wrong. Men, sometimes asking irritates us. For real. Offer food, a hug, just sit there among others. Yes, Indeed, men who are listening, Junior, if you are still here with us, yeah, I want you to pay keen attention as men to this point here that she's making. Well said, Alicia. And so what I want to know now, ladies, is why is it this one here men cannot fathom? Why do some women spend so long preparing and when they say they're ready, they still have you waiting? Ladies, let's be real here. Are you doing that for sure just to spite the man or what is it?
No, generally speaking, females do take long to prepare. We can start from half an hour before and still the time will catch up. Well, for some of us, not all of us, because I don't like waiting on people and I don't like get people waiting on me either. That is my dead kid right there. So
Hmm.
some women do it because they just want to do it. Some women do it because generally they are slow, while some do it for attention. I mean, if you can come and help me, come help me do this, come help me do that, it will be okay. We'll be done faster. But generally speaking, it's just a woman thing. Some of us can't help it. Some of us
Hmm.
have to change party clothes. We might put on this one, then we look got this don't look good. We go and change again. Then some of us have to put on our makeup, and we're gonna take a whole year to do that. So it's just a normal thing. It's just in us, some of us.
Hmm. All right. Thank you, Kola. Darian?
Um, I'm a creative. I do not do these things on purpose. I honestly, I could start getting ready an hour before, and sometimes I'm still late, and I wonder how did this even happen? And I know, well, I don't know anybody personally who does it for attention. But I don't know. I think I like to get ready to do things and to go places. So I play my music. I am dancing. I'm dancing in the shower, dancing coming out. And then at some point, time slips me and I'm like, oh, shoot, that's what it is. Okay. Tomorrow we'll try 15 minutes earlier.
Hmm. Interesting. All right, Darian, thank you. Ashiba.
Well, for me, I am a very on time person. I don't like to be late and I don't like waiting on people. And I have to deal with it, but I get blow because I like to dress like an
Hold on for a
hour
moment.
before.
Ashiba, you say you have to deal with it. Is it in the context of your marriage?
Exactly. My husband, he's never on time.
Okay, I just listening. I had to just, pinpoint that part there. Hmm.
He is never on time. He literally takes longer than me. Anyways, but I don't like doing it because I don't like people waiting on me because it's like a habit. I always get ready like an hour before and prefer to wait on this person
Yeah.
and be like texting what happened. But I think some women, because they have a lot of responsibility too. Sometimes you have kids, and we like to see. You don't like to go out and see, okay, where's in the sink, or you can go and you can see this carpet dirty. You can, just try to finish everything before you leave. That's why sometimes we're not on time, or you get the kids to prepare. And the next thing too, we don't like to get the place anyhow. Sometimes you prefer eat before you go out and things end up caught up. But if it would be more easy now, you see that I am not on time, you could come in and assist me and help so that I could finish on time. You come like an hour before and sit there and complain because sometimes they just come and sit down in the car or they just hurrying up. Help me do something, the man. You can just sit around there and just say you always not on time. But there's things that we probably are doing at the set time.
Yeah. Yeah. Agree with all the responses so far. Sister Alicia?
Yes, I think that one is preparing for, let's say, an event. You hearing me now?
I'm now hearing you, yes.
Hello?
Yeah, I am hearing you.
You're right.
Put
I
it
was
on
saying
to.
that when a woman is preparing for an event, right, it is a whole different kind of ball game that is going on. A woman, not just in terms of getting dressed, but let's say she has something to do at church. She prepares mentally as well. And for women, they like to know that everything is in place. For some, it might take longer. They might have the children to deal with and that kind of thing. And as was mentioned by one of the panelists, if you see me struggling to get ready, help me do something, because a woman is not going to leave her house and this or that is not in place. That's just a
True.
woman, right? So we take longer because there are so many things going on, and when we leave home, everything is in place. Everything, especially if we have something to do at church or a presentation or wherever we have to go. We like to know we are not just prepared on the outside, but prepared mentally as well. And if
True.
something happens to offset, a woman whole day through off. So it is for a woman, getting ready is a process. I see it as a process. A
Yeah.
mental process as well as on the outside.
Yep. Totally agree. Thank you very much, Sister Alicia. I want to say welcome to Andrea. Welcome to you. It's good to have you here once again. And so I'm going to put up some responses from our audience, the members of the audience. I realize that, hey, they are on the roll today. Um, so let me see where I start from. Well, Delika couldn't be. Delika is in the comments chat. She was on our panel just now, but she will be utilizing the comment chat because of an emergency. So I'm just gonna put up this comment here. She said that's another thing. We expect men to be educated. You cannot be in a relationship if you're not ready to pay attention. And I think this goes for both side of the coins, men and ladies, right? Um, Lisa says we have to ensure we are well put together, because when we leave home we take the family name with us, and everything is in order before leaving the home. Because in a woman's mind, imagine, Sister Lisa, you out and you didn't clean the house, you didn't do nothing, but then all of a sudden a friend of yours asks to go home by you. So women want to prevent themselves from that form of embarrassment, right? You don't even know the type of friend and all of that. So that's why, I've heard where men will say, man, just leave the place just like that. When you come back, you want to fix it. And a woman will say, no, let me fix it now. I need to get things. I can't leave wares in the sink. I can't do this. I need to get myself or the home organized before I leave. It's just a woman thing, man, because at the end of the day, if somebody comes home by us, they wouldn't look and say, oh, look how he get the place. The first thing I say, look how she get a place. Like your wife can't take place of a home, take charge of a home. Like she doesn't clean, like she doesn't wash, and it can be your only date. And so that's one of the reasons why we ensure that we have things in order before leaving, even though it may cause us to be late. Um, Danielle says this. You say appearance is everything for some women, and when they step out wherever they have to go, they do step on out. even if even if they don't want to comb that hair, finding the the right matching head wrap is another process. Yeah, boy. Yeah, you know the works, man. So appearance is everything for, well, the majority of us women. I mean, sometimes you just pick up and you just go, because I mean, for me personally, my preparation time, all depends upon the event I'm going to, right? Come on, when you hear banquet, when you hear banquet and you hear places like a dinner, you hear graduation or your wedding, like come on ladies, like look, a wedding, especially women, are most times, majority of the brides are always late. Alicia, were you late at your wedding, for your wedding, madam?
15 minutes late, and it was not my fault. Dad
It was
had
your
car
husband.
trouble.
Oh, car
Just
trouble.
15
uh
minutes late.
50 minutes. Andrea, what about you?
Oh no, I was late. I was half an hour before time.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
that's commendation. So we have 50 minutes, but
Mhm.
because not a problem, she wanted to be on time. Andrea was half an hour early. Was Pastor there already
That
waiting for you?
he was there. He was there. Yeah, but I had to ride around the church just for burn some time because I was ready, ready, ready. So another thing is that another thing it's I believe that it's stereotype that only women, but I know for a fact that me, I was late, right? I mean I was late like in any other thing, any other occasions, and so I am, I does be late, but
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to my wedding I was very very early. That was one thing, yeah.
Okay, great, great, great. And what about you, Ashiba? I know you were married too. Were you late?
I was not late, but my maid one was late. Pastors was late, so I had to sit in the car and wait. And that was like could never happen, like I was so upset because I'm always on time. And that was the first day I saw my husband on time. And I must give him a blast for it. To be honest, that was the first day. And he was like, oh my gosh, why Pastor do this to me now? Because, I was sitting there and I was getting,
Yeah.
this agitated feelings. Why they late? And I keep calling, calling, calling
That's good.
because I don't like to
Okola, do
be
you
late.
think you'll be late for your wedding?
I might definitely be late. Cause you gotta look good on the day. You can't just go there looking anyhow. So you gotta take your time and do everything. Probably if I start 2 hours before preparing, that would be okay.
Okay, I hear you. Daria, what about you? Do you think you'll be late for your wedding?
I feel like
And
I feel like if I have somebody in charge of my day and I tell myself my wedding is an hour before it's supposed to be, then most definitely I'll be on time.
So, man, the reason why I asked that question, I want to be early for my wedding. I want to be not early, I want to be on time. I don't want to go there sitting waiting on anybody. Me, I don't want to be driving around in a car either. I want to be perfectly on time. If it's 2 o'clock, let me reach the church at 2 o'clock. Ceremony must begin, right? But I just want you to pay attention to these two ladies, and I deliberately asked them this question. Women, sometimes we women plan to be late. So they don't know when they're going to get married. No. Are you heard the responses? Right? Because it comes back. And indeed, men, I mean, when you look at it, sometimes, I mean, I've been around brides before, and it's like sometimes emergency happens at the last minute. And it's like you prefer to be late than to go out looking a certain way, right? So but some of us, yeah, we do plan in advance. Just putting that one there. Let me see. I want to see if any more comment from the audience. Andrea, I realized that you put on your mic. You had any other submission to make?
Mm, the only thing is that I mean, we not everybody should be this typical woman. We should try. We should try as much as we can. We shouldn't be labeled, or stereotype as all women are. They usually be late. So we
Yeah,
gotta work on it.
good submission. Um, Beverly says this. Welcome, by the way, Dijon. You are late due to our priority problem. Women need to prioritize more. And then she says she's guilty of being late for things that seems less important. Yeah. And one of the things that really helped me personally in terms of this late aspect of it is that I try to get myself the night before I press my clothes. The moment I don't know what I'm wearing to go to somewhere, I will definitely be late. Because why? I'm trying on 5, 6, 7 different outfits because in my mind I haven't decided what I'm gonna wear. So what I usually do the night before I put on a movie or something, and I'm trying on my outfits, let me see which one is most appropriate for this particular function. I ask my friends, most times my roommate, well, or how do you think this look? What color to go? What this? What that? What the other? Get one or two opinions, and I think I'm set. I press my clothes, and I know for sure that is it. But I don't like to go early, sit down and wait. I prefer to go just in time. And Sister Alicia's Bentic husband says, I wonder, He says, and now she prepares for 3 months for anniversary and still late. This is at least you said you were late 15 minutes, but your husband, how your husband mentioning this thing is like you are always late. Delman, I don't know what to believe, bro. Right at this point in time, right now, I'm an I'm a woman, eh? So I'm going on your side, and I don't think I believe that statement that you put it there. But thank you for viewing and your contribution that you have made you're making to the program. And so, ladies, in addition to that, there is this question that came in. I know only a few of you have children right now, but why is it that some mothers find it difficult to let their boy children go when they are ready for marriage, ready to marry? And this question came from, of course, as I said before, all the questions came from men. And so they don't seem to understand why is it that some mothers, and it's so difficult to let their boy children go when they are ready to marry. What are your opinions or from experience? What do you think the causes for this?
So from what I've experienced with my aunt is basically per she some mothers tend to think that probably the individual that their son is going to marry will not be able to take care of them the way she is doing. Because remember, mothers are very keen and particular with, and they're more, boys tend to cling to their mothers more than to their fathers. So how the mother might take care and treat them, they're very skeptical about how they will be treated by the other partner. So that's just one of the reasons why
Okay.
they would tend to have find it difficult to let them go when it's time for them to get married.
That's why they never like the girl most times. Always get some in-law battle. I don't know where's this new syndrome. Maybe I have to do a program on that. This mother-in-law and daughter-in-law syndrome. I need to. I have to think about how to phrase that, but it's a good one because one of the things I find is that the majority of families, not all, some are excellent, is that they never like this woman never ever will do her son any good. I don't know who she's looking for. Some woman that's supposed to come from the sky, or some woman that ain't born yet, or something of the sort. But Sister Alicia, what do you
But
think about okay, oh Kalo, you have another submission to make?
yeah, I was going to say, but some some parents need to realize that they are not the person that is going to be living with the individual. They need to just allow the individuals to go about their lives, and what they're hoping for might not even be what will happen, because some persons tend to have the negativity that this will go AY and that will go AY, because some persons are not, they expect a particular individual for their child and not what they think the child expects of the individual for themselves, which is totally wrong.
True. Thank you, Okolo. Andrea?
I am still thinking about the question, and as I think about it, is what I can think right now is that I guess the
Mhm.
bond, right? When they have a close bond, the mother and son close bond. I may be repeating what Okola said, but when they have that bond, it is hard for them to actually let go. Because that attention is not going to be on them anymore, as on the mother, as because he has a new responsibility when he gets married, and he has to carry out his responsibility to his wife, right? So I guess mothers, they're afraid that when that happen, that they lose their son, but it won't happen. They won't lose their son, but they probably think that they would lose him, his attention and everything, yeah, to the
Yeah,
woman.
valid. Ashiba.
Well, especially when a man is the last child for the mother, it is pretty tough. The mother still try. Well, it's very hard for her to let go because she wants to know everything. She still wants to know that she is the mother to take care of him and nurture him
Yeah.
and like still be in this space. So whenever any young lady comes in, she tried to like put faults and say, okay, this is wrong, something is wrong with this young lady, and they try to cover it because they actually, I think I would say selfish,
Hmm.
because in every relationship you keep putting an obstacle because trying to pinpoint a young lady that this is wrong, but it's actually kind of wrong. You should give some young ladies a space because not all young ladies are the same, right?
Yeah.
And at least you should try to reach the young lady halfway to know what is it, because sometimes it could be affecting your son, and then the next thing too, they won't know how to get this bold thing to say, mommy, okay, I want to make this decision, right? Give me this space, because remember, you're the last child. You can't stand up to the parent and say, okay, this is what is bothering me, or the mother said, this is what is bothering mommy. I'm having a tough time with it. And I think most time they're afraid too, because sometimes the young man, they encourage it too, because you should stand up and say, mommy, I understand that you care about me. It's not that you're going to lose the attention of me, it's just that I am ready to move on. You have kept me for 9 months and I am maybe 23, or how old you been, it's
Yes.
time for me to find a lady that will be there for me, and so on. You can't do everything for me at you know
Exactly.
smart people wise. You can't
Mm-hmm.
support that to me. So I need this space. And I think if most men nowadays, they stand up and realize that what their mothers are doing, I think it would be a better place, because if they stand up and say, okay, mommy, this is what is going on and you need to stop it, it's not nice, it would
Yeah.
make it easy for young man and especially young women to find a spouse, because most relationships, this is why they're breaking up and so on, because of the mother and the mislead of advice.
I get your point. I get your point there. Hmm. Darian.
I agree very much with what she just said, because I think in those cases there's a an issue with letting go. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
something might have happened to the mother before. And I saw somebody in the comments talking about territorial, women being very territorial, and I think that has a lot to play
Yeah.
that as well.
Thank you, Darian. Alicia? Just checking. Alicia, you hearing me?
I am in total agreement with all of what was said. And I think when if the sons realize that what their mothers are doing is wrong, this clingy holding on to, the mothers need to recognize too that, hey, you know what? Eventually this bouncing baby boy that I have is gonna grow up, become a man, and want to set up his own home and family and so on. Which says to me that then the mothers have to train their sons in such a way that they understand that they have a certain time you gotta leave and cleave, and
Definitely.
not cleave to your mummy, but cleave to your wife. And if mothers do that, train their in that manner, I think that the problems that exist in some relationships, because you cannot say all, in some relationships, it will be to a minimum. Because then you will not hear the husband telling the wife, oh, you don't do this like my mother, and
Yeah.
this and that, and all kind of thing. Mothers need to train their sons in a way. Yes, you do what you can for them, you teach them responsibility and so on, but train them with the understanding that eventually they have to leave and cleave unto their wives.
Lovely. Well put. Christine, welcome back. Continue with this question that is on the discussion.
I didn't hear what was said, but my most important thing that I would like to say is that if a woman or mother does not let her child or her son go, then she's not of God. Because according to the word of God, you should let your children go and let them live their own lives. And in terms of marriage, like Sister Alicia said, leave and clean to your wife, and then you have to let your children live their own lives. Because if you don't let them live their own life, then I don't know. That's not godly. I would say that's ungodly.
Hmm. All right, thank you very much for sharing.
Eh, Before you
Mhm.
continue, um, and about what Sister Alice you said, that is one of the main cause of problems in relationship. When the man wants to tell the woman, "Oh, you can't do this like me, mother. My mother does do it like this. Do it like I want you to do it like this." Your wife and your mother are two different persons. They do things totally different.
Yeah.
You can't expect your wife to operate like your mother. That would never happen. I mean, there are certain things that you would like to see, but you cannot be pressuring her to be like your mother. Your mother is your mother, your wife is your wife. And persons are taught to do things differently. So men need to understand that. Not everything you're going to find fault in everything because this person not doing it like your mother. Your mother is your mother, your wife is your wife. If you want to assist, oh, Oniki, you can do it like this. I would love you to do it like this. It tastes a little, or just say something nice instead of just bashing and bashing. It won't work.
Marry your mother. Are you?
I was just going to say that. Why not marry your mother?
Yeah. At
Or,
one
or
point, I was
simply
talking to
just
a group of
just
young men, and something of the sort that came up, and I'm like, hey, I said number one, mommy's boys, not my type of guys or relationship. I love men who love their mothers, who treat their mothers and sisters excellent. But if you can't distinguish, you can't recognize at that point in time that this is your wife and this is your mother, and there's and you can't make decisions on your own. You have to go to mommy. You can't even consult me to in decision making, but everything is mommy, 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 mommy. I have a problem with that. And I had an experience dating someone like that. I know. So while I was talking to a group of guys, I said to them, listen, if I have that, I'll tell him plain, go and have sex with your mother. Simple as that. Because I can't be your wife, like really wife, and it's like you everything is your no man, no, 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 no. Come on, relax. So I mean, and I'm gonna put up some of the comments, and there's a young man in the chat, Gorsham. You would have asked. The link is in the I would have placed the link in the chat. You feel free to connect to the link because he said it's important. Let me see if I have his exact yeah. I think you guys need a man in this conversation to get a man input. So if you're still around, you can connect to the link and we are going to take your input on the question. So there's some comments, there's several comments that came in from the audience on this particular question. Um, so Beverly would have said, some find it hard to let go, especially if he's the only child and fear being alone. True. So it means that we have to, as ladies, so young women, we are young now. We need to train ourselves or teach ourselves certain things, and that letting go, to know that letting go, it's a natural part of life. Delika would have said, because women in general, even as a sister, always want the best for that person. We want them to eat well, sleep well, and be treated well. So we hope that the woman that person chooses is capable of doing such. But some women, no woman in suit their son, like absolutely none. They're either not educated. Some of them, they reach the educated one. No, she gonna be too bossy for you because you're too educated. No, you can't reach the her standard. No, oh my goodness, like ladies, like come on, mothers. Like I anyway. Let me don't say nothing much on this Camarina, but it's a topic that really really gets to me. Um, let me see. She has okay. Even as a single parent mom, she has become so used to having her son or sons being there in her life. They're used to having all of the attention. So to come to grips that another young woman may have all of the attention, she becomes worried. Another thing I would have discovered is that some women, ladies, some men are very supportive of their mothers, and I applaud that. They know the sacrifices that their mothers went through, and they will always constantly be helping them. And so whenever the mother think that, hey, this other person coming in, she is done thinking that you're coming to cut my share, or sometimes I can't even get my share at all. And I have had mothers who would have said that personally. It's like, hey, he gonna marry now. He gonna marry now. What gonna happen to me? He gonna stop minding me. Me want he married now. Like, oh woman, like, come on, give your son a break, please. Alicia said, she prayed to be a good mother-in-law to her new daughter. Note, I don't want to be one to make any decisions, just to support my son. Yeah, man. And Danielle, very interesting question. I won't say it's something that happens to all mothers. Well, of course, and that's why we keep saying some mothers, right? When their son have to leave their home in marriage, but it is mostly coming from families that are single parent. It's our only child. Danielle, I have seen some nuclear families, some women with husbands, and the man is saying, let the boy go, let him marry, and the woman is arguing on our end. Because why? The monies that the man bringing in is good for her, no, but she want the son part of the portion. So if the son get another woman, it takes away her share. Sometimes that happens, and sometimes that's some of their logics. Yeah, they depended on the son for provision of basic necessities, and in the case on being the only son, sometimes it is hard to let go of someone whom you have that strong tie with. I listen, as a woman, I will be selfish to know that my mother-in-law is a single parent, and because her son married to me, he should stop supporting her. Like, no, I don't hold firm to that belief at all. I don't subscribe to that. But at the same time, there is still a balanced approach in which the person needs to adopt. Frederick would have said the reason why mothers do this because of that protection, love, and security that they just doesn't want the son being hurt. Point taken. Gorsham says because she's a woman and she know how some women stay and she's afraid that some woman would hurt her son. Yeah, and I wouldn't say that all mothers are wrong. Sometimes when mothers give counsel because we are women, we see through women too. So sometimes we may give a good counsel to say, hey, that girl, take a little time to know her a bit. I think you should not to call off your wedding or not to don't marry her, but I think you should take time to get to know her more because I am seeing something from a woman's point of view that you're not seeing, but give it time. So I applaud mothers who give excellent counsels too. Um, let me see. Uh, okay, Beverly says this as a mother in law, she allows her boys to choose for themselves. Let them know straight. You buy your tight shoe, you will wear it till it busts. Yeah, valid point. So, yeah, if they come, and I know I've known about males who came home to their moms to ask them, like, mommy, what do you think about her? You know, what do you think about this girl? Do you think, I've heard men ask that not because of the fact that their mommies boys, but because of the fact that they know their mother would give them sound advice. And I agree with this statement. As parents, you need to release and let go. Alicia again, I can safely say I have a great mother-in-law. As mothers, we have to let go at some point and realize that our son is mature now to make their own decisions. All right, great. Let me see. All right. Pigot, but scientifically speaking, most men look for women like their mom, and like it or not, exactly how they treat their mom, they'll treat you. All right. I don't know. I need to check on the research for this because um I wonder how anyway, I'll check it out though. The direct research. Sister Geraldine, good afternoon. Her comment, not from his sons, well, she has two sons. um they must not be controlling and vice versa. I want to see also shared responsibility on both sides, and I'm good with that. Yeah, man. So I love the fact that we all would have established the answers, given the answers to the question asked. And women, this question here, I find it very funny. There's Nita, welcome by the way. I'm happy to have you on the program here today. So we just have a few questions before we wrap up today's program. As I said, we're going to finish a little bit early because of some other appointments. All right, so I don't know. I laughed when I heard the guy asked me this question here, but I decided to still ask women because I just want to hear your point of view on this question here. And I don't know if I really don't know his reason for asking this question here, but he said, why some women don't like wearing bras? I couldn't help it. I'm like, oh boy, why did you come with this question? But he gave it, so I said, okay, let me get it. And I'm sure if I know he's at work now, so I'm gonna sure to message him the responses that you women would have given on this particular question. Maybe I don't know if his girlfriend never justified it enough or what, but I don't know. But let's hear what you ladies think about this question. All right, the ladies are still trying to
I,
control
I,
themselves with laughter
I
at this point in
personally, I personally cannot identify because yeah, I'm not a part of that group that does not like wearing it, so I can't exactly understand it. But from what I've heard from some of my friends, I think in a way it's kind of freeing. Um, yeah, I think that's it.
Okay.
the,
All right, thank you, Darren.
I
So
don't
just
know.
okay, continue. Go ahead. All right. So just before I continue with the other responses, I just want to bring this comment up that was related to the last question. Marcel, welcome. So this question, her comment, I have an only son and know that at some point he will get married. I am looking forward to the day. I have trained my son to be respectful, honest, and supportive to women. However, I am a woman and I've seen a whole lot, and it is my duty to counsel and advise. These women today not easy, even in the good SDA church. Yeah, yeah, that's all you can do, counsel and give advice where necessary. Thank you very much, Marcel, for sharing that. And I wanna implore to the mothers who are listening, pray for your children, pray for your boys, pray for your girls. Don't wait until they're ready or they selected somebody. Ask God. Constantly keep praying for them so that God will direct their paths and selecting the right mate. Especially doing that, the men have to be the one doing the selection um, process. Um, all right. So Wanella, welcome. The Bible text would train up a child. I believe it also applies to parents training their child or children of what to expect when they do decide to marry. Don't believe most mothers do that. Valid contribution there. All right, great. So let's get back to our question that was on the table. Why some women don't like wearing bras? So we heard from Darian already. Ashiba.
Well, a shame. Anyways, I
All
don't
right. Mm-hmm.
because it's not comfortable. A woman could get breast cancer, especially with the type of bra that she wears and the material that they made it with. It's not healthy for us to be with it on all day. Mind you, when I'm going out, I would wear, right? But the thing is, it when you be with it on all day, it's not you're not getting to what to say. Your breast is not circulating and so on. So you have to. Some women just don't like it. This is all I could explain and tell them because it's not comfortable and it's not healthy too. Because I don't know if you ever had this experience when since when you take it off, you just feel this pain and these things. And sometimes I was looking on a documentary some time ago, and most women complain of the way how they wear it and so on because it's not something healthy. Remember, we weren't thing to wear something like that, so you get it on all day. It's very uncomfortable and it's not safe for you to wear because if you do look at it in a way, the difference, and I was looking to the style and everything contribute to breast cancer and so on. So the best ones for us to wear is the trainee bras or the exercising one, you would say. The those are very comfortable and those are the safe and cotton.
All right. Thank you for your response. Yeah. Desnito.
Yes, you guys hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Yes, I'm hearing you. Okay, so um adding to what Ashiwa was saying, well for me I wouldn't go on the road without. However, there's a lot of persons who still feel free, don't want to be tied down as to say when they go on the road, they want to be free and comfortable wherever they go. The bra, especially the bow, make things feel uncomfortable. So therefore, most persons don't want to be held down or with the bra. Um, what else? What are the reasons? I guess she mentioned most of them that I wanted to
Okay.
state. But most of it comes from comfort.
All right.
The cancer part of it, but mostly comfort.
All right. Thank you. Andrea.
I agree with the ladies. I really don't have much to add, just the comfortness, you want comfort. And it's like most ladies when they go out they do wear, and most of them, if not all of them. For me, I have to wear most times, right? Because I don't want my breasts to be hanging and saggy and so on. So the brassiere keeps it. But even at nights, I don't know. Even at nights, I have to wear. I would wear these, I
Yeah.
don't know if you know, these kind of trainy kind, these exercising kind or so on, but it must be slack, it mustn't be, but I understand with health wise and so on, we need to look at our health wise, because I mean it can cause cancer and a lot of other things. You need air, you need to breathe, your breast
Thank
need to
you.
breathe,
All right. So
you know.
anybody else on the panel has anything else different to add that what was said before?
And you
Yes.
need to attract your husband too. Sorry.
All right. Go Apollo.
Oh my God. So, I noticed everybody's focusing on the health wise and comfortability and all of those things, right? But at the same time, some women are very lawless and some are looking for attention, so they wouldn't wear. Now, I'm gonna be frank here, right? I don't wanna sound like everybody's just goody goody. I'm gonna be plain. Some women are just lawless. Some of them are just attention seekers. I mean, some women would just go out in public.
Yeah.
Literally, I've seen this so many times, and I'm so angry when I see it. Now you're there sitting among people in a bus, and there are children there. You have adults, you have males, and you have on no bra, and everybody's seeing everything. Like, oh, Jerusalem is just there. Like, what? I mean, that is total nonsense. That's lawlessness beyond, right? So, I mean, you don't have to look for attention in that manner. I mean, you can dress modest and you will be seen. You don't have to go to this length to be seen. So, that's just my point. I really like to talk about this topic because it really aggravates me. So, I am going to end there.
All right. Thank you very much for that submission. Yeah, that's a valid submission also. Any other point than what was stated before from anybody else? Yeah. All right, great. So when I look at the comments from the audience, most persons would have mentioned in terms of comfortability, Beverly, time when you need to be free. Um, Junior would have noticed as a male would have noticed that a lot of women don't wear bra these days. Um, Medical reason. Some sometimes they find it too much to wear. Yeah. Um, Gershom said from what his wife said, she said it's a bit uncomfortable at times. Yeah. When Ella said the same thing, uncomfortable. Um, Junior, they believe they're free when it is loose. Marcia says simply it's too restricting. Their nipple plaster you can use. Yeah. Um, Sister Geraldine, I can only imagine how a woman with children would look in public not wearing bra. I know for health reasons. I agree with Okola also nipples attracts. Yeah. Um, Daniel, Daniel, I find this very funny. But yeah, that's one of the reasons, generally speaking, that women don't wear bra. You need something. I mean, especially when you're home, you're free. You're free. You do what you want. You wear what you want. Just wear a strapped up without bra in the house or wherever the case might be. Yeah. So women do it for different for varying reasons, and there is this other question. Oh, on that note, as I'm dealing with, we spoke about bras and everything. I want to say, only was it yesterday we received one of my friend. He lost his cousin who had breast cancer. It is so sad. We will be doing breast cancer before the month end. I know this is breast cancer month, and so even as my program here, I just want to really and truly um, extend condolences to any family member, anybody who would have lost a loved one due to breast cancer. And as ladies, I just want us to become a little more aware of this issue. Let us do our regular checkups that we have to do. So at the end of the day, we can prevent and save ourselves. So I don't want to say happy breast cancer month, but I'm happy that we have breast cancer awareness month so that we can get ourselves organized as women. So you will see sometime down the line before the month is ascended, there will be a program featuring breast cancer. We have our doctors here who will be able to talk a bit and we dialogue a bit more on this. All right. And so our men also want to know, why are some women extremely, many times extremely self-conscious about their weight, and many times they are not even overweight. Ladies?
I like to look good. And I feel like what what is looking good for me is not the same thing as looking good for other people. And this has happened to me a couple of times because in my eyes, my anything that is above my usual weight or how I usually look is quote unquote fat. It's not fat, but in comparison to how I would have been before, to me, I don't like it. Anybody
Yeah.
else would watch me and say, nah, you ain't getting no weight, should be. They say, but Darian, you're looking the same way. I'm like, no, I know that there's a difference. And sometimes it's just I think it's also insecurities based on how other persons would have perceived you before. So um, not specific to me, but I've seen it in some of my friends. If while they were children, while they were younger, they would have been teased about how they looked, or a certain ideal was put into their mind of how you are supposed to look, and they don't seem to match up to that, then they will be very insecure about their features, their physical features.
Yeah. Thank you, Darian. Okolo. Oh, Okolo was just stepping out. All right, let me go with Sister Alicia.
Yes, I think a lot of it has um, how social media portrays women, with a certain figure type and, how the Hollywood stars would look. So if we fall outside of what the Hollywood stars would look like, then sometimes we are not conscious that we do it, but then we tend to think, okay, we're not good enough. So we have to, do the little extra to make sure everything is in place. You find a lot of women will go and join the gym because they want to look like maybe some particular movie star, and they get all of these different cosmetic surgeries and that kind of thing. Right? It has a lot to do with how Hollywood portrays women. The nice long flowing hair, and the nice figure and everything. Media has a lot to do with it.
Yeah. Excellent question. Uh, Desnito. So we're dealing with a question. It's on the screen. Why many times extremely self-conscious about their weight?
Okay, so I believe that this is so because, well, sometimes some women self-esteem is very low, and especially if the they may have family members or friends who put them down, then they will always believe that there is a need for them to make changes with themselves. That stems from uh basically outside ideas that is now is within them, that they now take with them, and yeah.
Thank you. Christine.
Yes, um, I would say, from a part, I would like to say that some women just like to feel confident. I mean, it's not just that you're insecure about the weight, but I think even though you have this attribute inside, there's something about a woman when she has this confidence. You know, like if you
Yeah.
have this confidence, you just feel like, okay, I look really good. Like you're just confident in yourself. Like you can wear the most beautiful clothes, and if you don't have confidence, you won't feel as if you're beautiful, or as if you're you're well. I don't know how to put it over. Like there's something about confident in a woman. Have you
Confident.
ever
Yeah.
feel confident? It could be the hair, it could be the clothes, it could be something about yourself that no matter you people might see it as, oh, it looks so beautiful, but to you that's not you. But because of how people want it to look like, or think that you should look, this is what
Mhm.
you try to put into your life and in yourself. But for me, it has to do with confidence. You have to have that confidence in yourself no matter what. Just stick to one weight, and if you want that weight, just go towards that weight and be confident about it.
All right, good. So Andrea.
Well, I like to look good, yes. And the person that just came off, you like to look good, be confident, you like to feel good. And I as I always say, I can be wrong, and yeah, I can stone me, but I believe that fat is not good. Fat, is not, it's just not good. So for me, I mean, I have two children, and it's like every time I the first time when I got one, I try to get back to my normal size, right? And when I got the other one, I mean, I increased in weight, but I'm still trying to get there. It's like I feel fat, I feel fat. And I guess that, that is what it's just not nice. It's just not a nice thing to be fat, or a healthy, I should say, thing to be fat.
Okay. Thank you. Ashiba.
Well, I would like to share my experience. The first time, well, when I get married, right, I gain weight. My belly started growing. It was embarrassing that people always say, "Congratulations, you're pregnant." I was like, I'm not, it's like something. So I came home, I start exercising, and I thinking, and my husband's like, Ashiva, your condition, you cannot be doing all these things. Accept yourself. You try simple thing. It's just that, maybe it's because of certain things make you gain weight, but not for you to feel bad or take it to extreme to hurt yourself more than anything else. Sometimes we need to accept ourselves and not to listen to what people say. Because now when people tell me, "Oh, you gain weight," I was like, "Oh, thank you," and I look beautiful. But mind you, I still do exercise, but not to this weight. I just keep my body, but not to lose weight. I love size. Who know me back then? I was pretty skinny with bare bones. So I'm good. I'm happy that I have my size, but not too much. But you should know, stop listening to people. Just love yourself and accept who you are. But try to be healthy because too much of fat is not good too.
Yeah.
Overweight, it's not good for your heart. So you just keep between the line that you wanted, and that's gonna make you even happy. Don't look at what people say or what they think about you. It doesn't matter. Just
True.
love yourself. As long as your husband or your boyfriend love you just the way you are, forget about anybody else.
Beauty
Yeah.
lies in the eye of the beholder. Shibiti.
Uh-huh. As they say, yeah, as they say, indeed. So we have two more responses to go, Alicia and Okolo. So go ahead, Okolo.
All right, so I'm looking at the question. Well, basically, societal views are normally what causes people to oftentimes pause and look at themselves. But like Ashiba was saying, I don't think that we should allow what people say make us feel any less than a person we are. I think that we should always remain self-conscious. That is very much important. And
Yeah.
just do you. I mean, overweight is it's not good, but at the same time we need to remember that some persons it's genetic. Some persons generally
True.
cannot reduce. So while
And
some
even
of us can
PCOS.
reduce, yeah, while some of us can reduce and we can have this nice Coca-Cola bottle shape, there's some persons who are dying to look like us, but they can't because of genetics. So
True.
we just need to put those factors need to be taken into consideration. Just stop listening to people. You focus on you, do your thing, and you're good to go.
Yeah. Valid. All right, Alicia.
Yes, I think what we as women need to doesn't matter what size you are, as the young lady said just now. Some of it has to do with our genetics. Some of us, are naturally plump. Like for me, I've always been a child growing up. I always had size, right? But if it's one thing that my mother and those around me would always instill is that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, you
Yeah.
know, and sometimes we just have to embrace the stage that we are at. And yes, you do all the healthy stuff, you exercise, it's a whole package, right? And you just do you, you know. For me, I know that I have a little size, and when I leave the house, I have to be well put together,
True.
and that's just me from head to toe, right? I have to be well put together because when I step out, I got to look good. I'm not just representing me, but my household, my family, my husband. I look good. So I think we have to embrace what we have in terms of our size. You do the things that would help us to live healthy lives, and that's like eat healthy, and that because I do eat healthy, but it is in my family's genetics that we have size. We're pleasantly plump, that kind of thing. But I try to exercise and do those things, and I just do me. It don't matter if somebody tell me I do this or I do that. I, Alicia, Patricia, Bente, doing me. I embrace me, who I am.
I love that. And I love it. But I have the problem that what Darian has, in a sense that I am obsessed with gaining, well, not gaining, but having a certain weight. And it's like,
Okay.
even right now, I have some clothing. I was looking back on some pictures on Facebook and I'm like, gosh, Shibiki, you were skinny, you know? I mean, skinny, but still, I always had this kind of little size. I was never a fat child, but I was always growing up thick, right? And I remembered my aunts when I was maybe in my teenage years. I used to eat a whole lot, and my aunts keep saying to me, "Oh, you don't get fat when mommy has size, right?" You don't get fat. Oh, you don't if you don't take after your mother. And in my mind, I'm like, I hated fat. And so from
No.
the age of 13, 14, I never had a self-esteem issue, but I always tell myself that Shibiki, no matter what your answer, you're going to get fat. You're going to show them you're not going to get fat. You're going to remain not slim, but you're going to remain thick and nice. You exercise if you have to exercise, eat properly, ensure that your belly don't be big when you put on a clothing, look good. And so I grew up with that in my teenage years, in my early adulthood, the same thing. So even if I'm here, and it's sometimes if I put on a clothing and I'm like, hey, Shibiki, you gain some weight. No, 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 girl, you need to go back to the gym or go start your regular exercising again. And the other day it dawned on me. I'm like, I was in fact one of my friends called me and I was telling him, you know what? I really don't want. I'm studying. Imagine I'm not even pregnant and I'm studying that right now. I'm like, I don't want to be when I get pregnant and after I get my baby, I get fatter now. Like, I don't want that. And I'm saying to myself, I'm like, Shibiki, you really got to get yourself prepared for motherhood. Anything can happen. So I'm extremely self conscious about it for whatever reason. I mean, it stemmed from what my aunt would have told me. But besides that, indeed, I try to eat healthy. I try to exercise. I'm not regular at it all the time. But I will endorse the fact 101%, whether it's genetics or not, women, you're fearfully and wonderfully made. Love yourself. And if you don't love you, and no way that man you're dating or that man you're courting or your husband, he is gonna love you. You need to prove to him that you love you first. And when he loves you, my dear, he loves you for all of you. And so that would have been our last question. But I realize we have Gorsham is on the ball today. He has two questions. So what I'm gonna do, because I need to wrap up in maximum 10 minutes, I have an appointment I need to go to. Um, so the first question says, do you think a woman should be the head of the house because she's better at managing? We looked at this question to an extent last week. Um, or should she step back and let the man be the head of the house, knowing that he is not a good planner and cannot manage the finances as a woman can? So ladies, I want you to just take a look at that question. So two of you, please, you can tell me in the private chat column. Any two persons just respond to me quickly in the private chat column that you're going to answer this question. The other question we're going to try to answer today is question number two that he has. Can a single mother teach them uh teach your son to be a man he should be, or do they need both parents to teach him that? Yeah, we covered this question in when we were dealing with the single parent show that we did. Some of these show you can go back on YouTube and you can catch them, but we'll try to get two other persons to give response on that question. And the final question he has: can a single mother teach her son to be a better man, or does it take both parents to do so? More or so the same. Um, Oh, it's just a repeat of the second question he corrected. Yeah, so basically there are two questions. So ladies, just message me, private message me. Um, which question you prefer? Look at number one or number two, but we only take in, it will be two persons per question, right? Okay. All right. So while in the meantime, the rest of you deciding, Andrea, you can go ahead as we're gonna deal with the first question. Andrea, there's Nita, will deal with the first question. There's another person we need to deal with the first question also. Okay, Darian is back. So it will be three of you and four of you will deal with the other question.
Could you put the first question on the screen for me, please?
Yes, certainly. I'm going to do that now.
Okay, so do you think a woman should be the head of the house? No. I think no. The reason why is because the Bible set out certain principle how a home should run even. And it says that the man must be the head of the home. And that doesn't mean that the man, right? I mean, we have different qualities, right? We all have different qualities, what we're good at. But God would have said in his word that a man, right, should be the head. He should be the head of the home. So nothing that in our human minds, in our human thinking, that we should want to do different or should, do different than what the Bible says. And also, that is a quality of the wife managing, better at managing because she is better at managing, or should she step back? Right. Good. Like I said, that's one of her qualities. She's better at managing, while the husband may have other good qualities. So both husband and wife, they should be equal in everything. Though they have their different separate qualities, they should be equal in everything. But the man being the leader, right? The man being the leader, directing the home and being the head of the home. That's what I would think.
All right. Thank you very much. Desnita, go ahead.
Okay, so yes, the man is the head of the home, and no, the woman shouldn't take that place from him. Whether he's unable to really manage the house as she would see fit or it needs to be handled, she is there as a wife, as a supporter. So she can give ideas on how he can better manage the house, but not take the position from him. And there are certain times that she could she can assist in leading, but not still not overpowering his leadership. So together they'll be leading the home, but she will not be taking over the role that was given to him.
All right, thank you very much. Who next would attempt question one?
I agree with what was said by the first two ladies.
All right, great. All right, so Gershom, I trust that that addresses your question. However, I would not say to any woman, if the man is not doing anything, if the man is not doing anything as it relates to the role of his host, that you should sit back and say, oh, he ain't doing nothing, I ain't gonna do nothing, right? If it's sometimes you're not the head of the house, but then sometimes it means just stepping up and doing whatever you have to do, because at the end of the day, it makes no sense your household is destroyed because one person failed to fulfill their responsibility. That's just my humble submission on that, because my husband is not good at managing something. And I mean, men generally don't like to come and ask for help, but and I realized that there are ways that we can go about not telling him, oh, you're supposed to do this. There is something that we learned called a descript. You can talk about, okay, I love the fact when you do this, or I love the fact when, not to make him, not to belittle him in any way possible, but I strongly support the fact that if he is not doing it and it is not moving, it is not going anywhere, and as a wife, I may have to step up. I will definitely do it, but that does not mean I'm the head of the home. I should not claim that responsibility, not that position or that title, I should say.
If I may, Shiki, I believe that it has a lot to do with um, the couple sitting down and being honest and being real. If the wife is the better manager of funds, for me personally, I don't see anything wrong if she is allowed to manage. The thing is that both parties have to come together
Yes.
and work. They have not to say that you're taking away the man's responsibility as being head of the home, right? But they have to come together and work. Now, if let's say the wife is a accountant, she deals with money all the time, right? And if she is a better person at managing the funds and saving here and saving there and knowing what to but
Yeah.
let her manage, right? It's not to say that you're taking away anything from the man. There are other things that um need to be done in a house and so on as it relates to being head of a home and so on, you know. But I think it has a lot to do once the couples come to an understanding and be real and honest. And I find sometimes that does not happen in relationships. So you have this kind of pull and tug, pull and tug. If one partner is the better manager of funds, that if the husband is the better manager, because sometimes we women go crazy spending money, right? If the husband is a better man, let him. If the wife is a better manager, let her manage. But it has to be something that they sit down and they discuss and they decide between themselves. This is what we are going to do. If there is not that level of discussion taking place between husband and wife, then obviously you'll be gonna find ourselves in problems.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, great. Thank you. And so
Yeah.
we're gonna just go take two responses on the final question here. Um, he asked, yeah, can a single mother teach her son to be a better man, or does it take both parents to do so? So we're just gonna take two responses on it. Okoda, go.
All right, so I'll go quickly. Yes. Now, parenting, it doesn't matter who is parenting, because we have instances where there's only a father and children, we have instances where there's only a mother and children, and we have instances where they're both parents. But at the same time, we find that mothers tend to do a better job at parenting than the father. The things that a mother would teach her sons or her son, some fathers won't take the time out to actually sit and have a proper conversation or to tell their sons, hey, this is what you do, this is what you don't do. While you find that the mothers are the ones who mostly take the time off, even if they have they work the entire day. Some mothers would find that time just to instill certain things into their children, right? And most instances we find that the male is not around, so then it's left up to the mother, and the mother in most cases would take her time to teach or to train up her child in that correct way. Now, you can't stop them when they get older from making their own decisions, but as long as you're with them, you train them from a tender age, then certain things that you teach them, it's instilled, it's there. So I think a mother, even a single mother, can and would do a better job than a father, than having a father there.
Okay, I would like to go on this question.
Go ahead.
I would say that a mother can teach a son to be a man, because my perfect example is my husband. My mother-in-law bring up her son by herself, and he is a perfect gentleman. There's no, like, I can't say that there's error, because he's so, like, there's, I don't know, he's so perfect in so many ways, like everything, right? So, and then as women, we are born with this gift of nurturing. So even though we might not know how to do certain thing as a man, we will go and learn to do it just to teach our sons how to do it.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for your contributions to that. If I may have to say something on this question, a single mother can she? Yes, but I will always go with both parents there, and I would like to echo Daniel's share this. I share the same sentiment that Daniel put here when he said it is more than just a conversation. There are some things that some mothers can never teach her son, and there's some things father can never teach his son, and that goes vice versa, even if it's one quality that is missing. And I so agree with that, and that is why when I look at Andrew's, well, Andrew would have alluded to the fact, oh, with the women question that we were answering, but I would always say, sing, I would never, not because yes, some mothers do a fine job at it, but when we look at the reality of it, I would not put them on a comparative scale to say, oh, woman definitely will do a better parenting than fathers. I think both parents should come together to perform the role of parenting. Because at the end of the day, there will be lapses. You might find a percentage scale, 5% of the males, they may go, as Christine would have alluded to, that might be accident. But when you look at the majority, and when with all of these research that are going out, you will find that there are a lot of lapses in between, because we were not designed. God knew why he had husband and wife, and God knew why he wanted husband and wife to contribute to training the children. So, Andrews, I think this question goes back to the last two questions that were asked. Um, so I'm going to put up the first comment here made here by Daniel. He said, the man indeed is the head of the household. However, like last week, both parties should be contributing towards the affairs of the home, and where needed, roles should be specific. It's the man's job to provide a house, and it's the woman's job to make a home. Not because one manages finances and have a higher income. That means they're the head of the home on those rungs. Exactly. Like Sister Charles said, we must go on the ways of the Bible. The husband has his qualities and rules, and the woman also. And then Andrew, it's good to have you here today. And Andrew says, listen, don't try to change what God has already set up. God recognized the man as head of the home. Don't let us get carried away by worldly customs. Even if a woman has all the degrees in education, God still won't see her in that role. However, the woman as a helpmate should help him fulfill his role, but not to curse him down, embarrass him in front of his friends, etc. Sometimes men came from abusive homes, and some women want him to be a Joseph in 2 weeks. So as Christians, we have to be, I guess your statement continued, but we didn't have it here. But yeah. All right. Great responses from each and every one. And he concludes by saying, however, women can teach our boys how to treat a woman. A woman can never do the work a father can do. It takes both parents to do it. Yep. And that is why I'm encouraging our men on the platform today. Please let us, if try our utmost to get rid of this single parenting. You just pushing um with the term that my friend used like to use, sowing your royal oats on every woman, and then producing royal children that you don't look back to. You don't even look to marry the woman and everything. And we want you to really and truly take serious note of the repercussion of single parent family, and really and truly let our society come back to the place whereby both parents can play that significant role in bringing up the child or children into this society. All right, I think we really need to go now. I have an appointment. I'm already late, but nevertheless, I want to thank all my audience, the members of the audience, for being here, for your support, for your contribution. I really love the submissions that were received on today's program. And to our panel members, thank you so much once again, ladies, for taking time out to address some of the concerns as we dealt with the issue of some things men can never understand about us women. And if as a woman you're looking at this program, perhaps you need to just sit down at night, replay the rebroadcast to your husband, maybe look at the YouTube link, and just have a discussion while we speak. You may not agree with everything, and the man might be able to give a submission and go and do that. So we want to say thank you very much. See you on Friday again. I want you to have an enjoyable rest of the day, rest of tomorrow. And again, thanks for all your support. So may God bless you all. I'm going to ask Sister Alicia, can you please close us in prayer?
Okay, let us pray. Father in heaven, indeed we are thankful for your goodness, your grace, and your tender mercy. We are thankful, Lord, for the level of discussion that we have had today. I pray, dear Father, that as we go about our business, I pray, dear Lord, that we would all seek by your grace to understand each other. I pray, Father, continue to keep us, continue to allow your face to shine us, and give us peace, both now and forever. Amen.
And amen. God bless you all and see you again on Friday. So long.